Hey, good morning, peeps. It is day 22 on the Appalachian Trail, or to be more accurate, it is day 22 in my tent next to the Appalachian Trail. It's been raining all night, so I'm trying to wait it out a little bit. It looks like it's going to be clearing out of here in the next 2 or 3 hours. So it's already slacking off a bit. I'm just waiting for it to slack a little bit so I can kind of get up and get going. Good night in the tent, a little bit of condensation, but not too bad. Just like I said, it rained all night, so that's kind of to be expected. So I was able to wipe it down a couple of times, and no big issues there. So here at the Russell Field Shelter, actually my first night in Tennessee, I didn't see a sign anywhere yesterday, but this shelter is in Tennessee. I think pretty much the Smokies kind of splits the line, so like some of the shelters are in North Carolina and some are in Tennessee, so I'll probably be in and out of it, for the next few days. But anyway, trying to get back on trail here pretty soon. I was able to get the girl her AT tag back to her when I got to the shelter last night. Now I think she may have already left this morning and left a shirt, so I may be still trying to catch up to her to give her something today. So we shall see. There was a nice ridge runner up here. Kind of stayed with us all night and checked our passes and things like that. But they're a super nice guy. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later on as soon as I get on the trail. Hey peeps, it's a little later in the morning. I'm now out of my tent and basically moved everything over to the shelter. There's nobody here. Everybody else has already left. There's my tent stakes. I have unfortunately lost my tent stake bag. I'm still looking for it. I feel like it's got to be around here somewhere, but not the worst thing to lose. I can throw them in a Ziploc bag. I usually throw them in my pocket after, or throw the bag in my pocket, and I think maybe I lost it when I went down to get water way down there after I set my tent up last night, so I have to check and see. But anyway, I'm in the shelter. I don't stay in shelters, so it kind of puts me behind the 8 ball a little bit when trying to get out in the morning. Because if you're in the shelter, you don't have to pack up your tent. Everything's dry, so you can kind of just get your rain clothes on and get going. So I may have to reconsider. I plan to stay in the shelter someday. I just haven't yet. So it's not really because I don't want to sleep with other people in the shelter. It's just I feel like I'll disturb them because I stay awake a lot at night. And I go number one a lot at night, so I hate to be getting up every couple hours and disturbing everybody. But maybe it's just normal. I don't know. I have to try to get used to that, I suppose, because it definitely is, from a hiking standpoint, would be better. So anyway, here's some of my stuff I've got laid out. Looking for my tent stake bag. I had some breakfast. My little oatmeal, carnation instant breakfast, coffee, non-fat milk powder. Actually was not bad. It was pretty good. Got some good calories in me, so I'll be trying to eat some more throughout the day. Here's my tent, trying to get it dried a little bit. It's Dyneema Duplex L, so it dries pretty fast, but really any bit of water I can get off helps. Not only to make it drier for tonight, but also takes a little weight off of it. So I'm being a little more aggressive about making sure everything's dry because it's going to be in the mid-20s tonight. I'm probably going to be at an even higher elevation than I am right now. So not sure exactly what shelter I'm shooting for. There's one about 10 miles and one about 15. I'd really like to get the one that's about 15, even if I have to night hike a little bit. Because, like I mentioned, I'm really hoping to try to get into Gatlinburg maybe late tomorrow and go to the outfitter and do a little bit of resupply to get me to Hot Springs. So, anyway, just thought I'd show you around a little bit. I should be back on trail here shortly. Looks like the rain's finally getting out of here, so really the rest of the forecast for the rest of the week, other than it being below freezing tonight, the forecast looks tremendous. Like I think later in the week it's going to be in the high 70s. I'll probably be out of the Smokies by then, but still it looks like 50s, 60s, and 70s all week and sunny every day. So can't beat that in the Smokies. Yeah, one basically a 24-hour period of rain is not a whole lot to deal with, for your entire time in the Smokies. So anyway, I'm here at the Russell Field Shelter in the Smokies. So I'll get back with you guys when we get back on trail. Okay, guys, finally on trail in day 2 of the Great Smoky Mountains. Very, very muddy track this morning. Just left the shelter a little while back. Saw a couple nice groups come by. A nice couple I just talked to before I left. They were actually coming there to camp. They had only moved like one shelter, but they were basically just weekend backpackers, but really nice guys. One of them, he worked for UPS, so I told him definitely tune into my last couple videos because I gave them some good shout outs for getting my micro spikes to me on time. So anyway, still very foggy, misty, and damp. Looks like the front's moved through as far as the rain. Looks like it's pretty much out of here. But definitely I had to spend a little extra time at the shelter inside there, just making sure everything was good and dry, because like I said before, it's going to be mid-20s tonight. So just want to make sure I can, keep everything as dry as possible. So it's kind of the worst case scenario when you're backpacking is wet and freezing. So anyway, brought some grocery bags to put my shoes in tonight to hopefully keep them from freezing, because I know they're going to be wet. But nothing I think it's unmanageable. So my biggest concern today is probably just falling in some of this mud. Knock on wood. Let me find some. Knocked on some wood with my trekking pole. I have not fallen yet on the Appalachian Trail. So, but if I'm going to, which most people do pretty regularly, today's probably going to be the day. So, which I've been very careful. I'm very sure-footed and take my time, especially going down and anything kind of sketchy, because in my mind, I'd rather go a little bit slower than, like I said, break an ankle or something that's going to take me off trail. So, like I said, speed's not really an issue. I'm mainly starting early and, trying to get there pretty quick just to give me a little more leeway, if something does go wrong or if I get an injury. So I can be like Sarah Baker or Kelly Hayes and get back on the trail rather than, being a late starter where I'll kind of be stuck. So anyway, not sure where I'm camping tonight. I'm at least going to Derrick Knob shelter. That's about 10 miles. Not sure if I mentioned, but in the Smokies, you have to stay at the shelters or around the shelters. So normally I think they will only let you stay actually in the shelters, but because of COVID, I think they're pretty much allowing people to tent around the shelter at least, during this time. So anyway, like I said this morning, I probably need to start considering staying in the shelters on nights like last night, but got to save something for the future, I guess. So I'm trying out my new Vapor hiking tights. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I always hike in shorts, but I did pick these up back at the NOC. So I'm trying them out. I like the way they feel on my legs if I can just get them to stay up. I don't think it's because they're too big. I think maybe it's because they're too small, but I had to stop a couple of times and adjust them and pull them up. So I tried to pull them up this last time and kind of use the drawstring on my shorts to hopefully tie around them and keep them up too, because if under my shorts I definitely had some serious plumber's crack going on, and nobody behind me wants that. So anyway, I'm just going to try to keep my footing. I'm going to stop at the first shelter up here in the next couple of miles, probably grab a bite of lunch, readjust everything, and then push on to that next shelter. At least I'd like to go further than Derrick Knob and do a bigger day, but I don't know if the footing is really bad everywhere all day, then I may wait, just because I know tomorrow morning it'll be frozen, which is actually kind of better for walking, on the trail part. So as long as you don't slip on any ice, you're good. So like I said, trying to get into Gatlinburg, so kind of planning around that. So should get there either tomorrow or the next day. Just kind of depends how much time I make. So anyway, appreciate y'all following along as always. Like I said, day 2 in the Smokies is finally underway. So I think the group behind me that camped at the Molly's Ridge shelter, I think they told another group I saw was like I think 3 guys from Pennsylvania that are doing just hiking the Smokies, and I did meet another thru hiker from California, and he's moving fast. He started on the 16th, and he's already caught up to me. So he's trying to get to Katahdin in June. So yeah, he's moving pretty fast. So anyway, I enjoyed talking to those guys too. So anyway, I'll get back with you later on. Kind of give you an update on what's going on, but still in the Smokies. Pretty fun so far. Hey peeps, It's been a slow go, but I made it to the next shelter, which was only like 3 miles. But it probably took me twice as long to do this 3 miles as it did the 3 miles last night between shelters. So definitely a tough track today. So looks like probably Derrick Knob shelter. It's probably going to be as far as I can get today. I might get night hike, but just with the so slippery and muddy, I know it'll be much better once it cools off. So looking to do probably a 10-mile day today. So this shelter was a little off the beaten path, about 0.2, but I thought it'd be a good place. It's still kind of drizzly and wet, so I thought it'd be a good place to rest. I might even thinking about even making a backpacking meal, which I never do in the daytime, but I think a good calorie boost might be good, and actually having an extra one if I'm gonna stop in Gatlinburg. No worries there. So anyway, nice little shelter, a little fireplace. I think they must all have fireplaces up here, it seems. So no, and this one has a privy, which was unusual. The last two did not. So anyway, I'll take a short break, and I'll get back with you guys later. Yep, these little guys are the struggle in the shelters. I'm just here for lunch. Can you imagine at night? If they're this active in the daytime? Oh my gosh. Same little guy, it's pretty friendly. Get away. I believe they call this a field mouse. This is the Spencer Field Shelter, so that would make sense. Well, after the midday mouse excitement, back on the trail. Very, very foggy. Kind of some different views as far as the landscape up here than I've been seeing. So it's kind of weird. The trail looks the same. Then as you go north, you'll gradually kind of notice that it changes from state to state. Like I said, I've been in and out of Tennessee these last couple of days. I've just not found a cool, like, Tennessee, North Carolina sign to take a picture with or anything. But I am now officially been in 3 states. That's a strange track. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know what, maybe some kind of bird, like turkey, I don't know. Sorry I can't give you more information on plants and animals. I'm very ignorant in both regards. But hopefully I'll learn as I go. We'll see. So Derrick Knob Shelter 5.9. That's where I'm planning to camp for tonight. So as you can see, kind of some of the mud here I'm having to slosh through. That's why I'm not filming too much today. So yeah, I just don't want to try not to fall. 2,200 mile journey, try not to fall. It's pretty much the AT, so. Good old Rocky Top. Rocky Top, Tennessee. This is called Rocky Top. I'm not sure if it's the Rocky Top the song's about, but it may be. I'm probably in Tennessee, and this is Rocky Top Mountain. Obviously not a great view today, but probably be pretty awesome on a clear day, like tomorrow probably. So anyway, shout out to my Tennessee folks. Here in Beasley, Tennessee volunteer. All my kinfolks in Tennessee. Probably a couple of you guys watching, hello. Just a couple hours away, but a long walk away, I think. So anyway, I hope all you guys are doing good. I'm gonna keep going, headed towards camp. Still got about maybe 4 to 5 miles. The trail has turned into basically a small river at this point. Water flowing, that's for sure. According to the U.S. Department of Interior, I'm currently 5,040 feet above sea level. Apparently that was placed there in 1963. Okay guys, finally within about a mile of camp. Oh my gosh, what a tough hike today. Only 10 miles, but definitely the toughest hike I've had since I've been out here. I know I've said that a couple of times. Obviously it graduates, but you can see why people kind of talk about the Smokies a lot. Definitely rougher terrain, a lot rougher terrain than yesterday. Cool, coming in. Sorry. Like, I've not fallen still. Hang on. I've not fallen still. Knock on wood. But there have been probably, I don't know, 180 near falls. Put it this way, if I was in a wrestling match with the AT, the AT went on points a long time ago. But anyway, like I said, every step's been tough, but it is what it is when you're hiking. A bunch of rain, mud, rocks, like pretty much you name it. I've been dealing with it today. See, I've slipped like 3 times just when I was talking to you guys. So, hang on 1 second. So anyway, heading to camp. I'm going to wrap up this episode. Probably going to be some people at camp. Trying not to be YouTubing and disturb them while they're trying to do their supper and get in bed and stuff like that. So can't wait to get in my tent, get under my quilt, try to get my stuff dry. It's going to be really cold tonight and windy, probably in the mid-20s. Like I said, I think the frozen ground, hopefully in the morning, will kind of make the trek a little bit easier coming out of the shelter, hopefully. So Derrick's Knob is where I'm going to camp. It's kind of tough out here because, like, if you want to maybe go a couple more miles, you just can't. You have to go to the next shelter because you have to camp at the shelter. So it makes it kind of tough to do bigger days when you're not sure. Like in a normal section of trail, like you can kind of just say, oh, I'll just keep going and I'll stealth camp on the trail somewhere. That's not an option here. So anyway, appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll get back with y'all tomorrow unless something crazy happens at camp or something. If I get to film any bears or mice or anything like that. So I'm gonna get a hot meal. I know I mentioned maybe getting one back there at lunch, but once I was fighting the mouse over just some trail mix, I did not want to fight him over some lasagna or something. So anyway, guys, I will get back with you in the next one. I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe. Well, peeps, one little bonus shot to close out the day. Just as it's about to get dark, looks like the front has passed and it's cleared out tremendously. There's the sun. So it looks like definitely will be much better views tomorrow after not really seeing anything today. So cool beans. Talk to you guys later.